Welcome everyone to Chapter 6 homework. I'm skipping over the first page because that's simple arithmetic and definition, and we're going to jump straight to question 1, which is, if you bought a new $1,000 10-year bond last year with a $90 annual coupon and the interest rate of the current 10-year bond with similar risk is 11%, what is the value of the bond? So we have a $1,000 10-year bond. We know that that is going to be $1,000 will be what we get in the future. We'll be receiving that back, so that's a positive cash flow. We have a $90 annual coupon, so $90 PMT. We have a 10-year bond, but we bought it last year, so 10 minus that 1 year would be 9 periods. Let's see, bonds with similar risk is 11%, so we have 11 I over Y, and we're trying to compute its actual current valuation or its present value. Now we know that's going to be a negative because that's the amount we'll have to pay out to get that $1,000 back in 9 years and $90 in payments. So just going to make sure everything's clear on the calculator. So I'm going to hit second and then clear and then clear again just to be safe. And then second FV. If you look, that's second and then clear time value of money. So we're going to clear that. Now we're going to enter in our information that we already have written down here. So we have $1,000 as our present value. We have a $90 payment. It will mature in 9 years, 9N, and similar risky bonds have an 11% return. And the future value is, compute future value, 889.26. 889.26. Okay, so we know what the current value is. Now the question is that a discount or is that a premium or is that just the par value? $889.26 is less than $1,000, so this is obviously a discount or a discounted bond. That's it. All right, question 2. What is the yield to maturity of a $1,000 bond that you just bought for $1,100 with a $90 annual coupon payment and a maturity period of 7 years? Now, we don't have the interest or the I over Y because that's what we're trying to figure out. We have all the other information. So we have a $1,000 bond, and I always like to put that in first. $1,000 is the mature value, so future value. We have the present value, which is $1,100. Now, because we're dealing with cash flows, we have to remember to put the plus minus after we do the 1100. We have a $90 annual coupon, so 90 PMT. And we have 7 years, so 7 periods or 7N, and we're trying to compute the interest or I over Y. So we're just going to go ahead and again, we're going to get out our calculator. We're going to say clear, second time value of money clear. Now we can enter in our numbers. So we have 1,000 future value, $1,100 plus or minus present value. We have a $90 payment, and we're going to have 7 years before we have maturity, so 7N, and we're trying to determine the yield to maturity, which is compute I over Y. And that gives us 7.1357 or 7.14%. Now that one's done. Question 3. Question 3 is kind of a difficult question to answer. I probably could have worded that a little better, but it reads, would it be advisable to buy a $900 bond, meaning I'm going to pay $900 for that bond, assuming the actual maturity value is $1,000, with 8 years until maturity if it had a $120 coupon payment and bonds of similar risk and similar maturity dates had a 9% rate that could be bought for $1,000. So the first thing I'm going to do is say, okay, my future value is $1,000. That's my future value. My payment is $120, payment. I have a 9% I over Y because similar stocks are of similar risk have a 9% return. And I have 8 years before that reaches maturity. And I'm trying to find out if it is more or less than $900. I could buy this bond for $900. So let's see what the actual value is based on the information we have available. So let's go clear, second, clear time value of money. And we'll just enter in the numbers. We have 1,000 future value. $120 is my payment amount. I have an interest rate of 9, so 9 I over Y, and I have 8 years or 8 periods for that till it reaches maturity. Now I'm trying to compute the present value, and that comes out to $1,166.04. So $1,166.04 on sale for $900. I think any one of us would be more than happy to spend $900 for that kind of debt. Okay, next we have question 4. If you bought a new $1,000 10-year bond with a $45 biannual, that means twice a year, coupon, and the interest rate of current 10-year bonds with similar risk is 7%, what is the value of the bond? Would the value be par, discount, or premium? Well, once again, we're going to start with our future value. We know it's a $1,000 bond. We have a payment of $45 twice a year, so 45 PMT. Now we have how long until it matures. It's a 10-year bond, but it's a biannual bond. So we have 10 times twice a year equals 20 N. And we also have a 7% rate, but that's, again, we're going to have to cut that in half to 3.5 I over Y. And then we just have to compute our our present value. Sorry about that, our present value. So let's go ahead and get our calculator. Clear time value of money. And we have $1,000 is our present value. 45 is our payment amount. 20 periods, so 20 N. And a common rate of 3.5 every 6 months, so 7 divided by 2, 3.5 is our I over Y, and we're going to compute our present value. So the present value of this bond is $1,142.12, $1,142.12, and this is, again, greater than $1,000, which makes it a premium. This is a good deal. We should buy this. Our last question, question 5. You may buy one bond, so this is an either-or situation. The first bond from Rust Corporation is for sale for $800 with a 0% annual coupon and a $1,000 par value that will mature in 10 years. So on this one, we get no coupon. We just buy it cheap and get that money back in 10 years. So we're spending $800 to get $1,000 in 10 years. We're looking at yield to maturity. The second bond is from Foot Corporation, has the same maturity date and par value, costs $900, and has a $40 annual coupon payment. Which would you buy? Now, off the top, it's kind of difficult to tell which. On one hand, you only pay $800 for, well, you really get no coupon or no cash flow until you finally cash out when it reaches maturity. On the other one, you get a $40 payment every year, but that costs $900. Of course, at the end of that time, the maturity amount is $1,000 in each case. So we're going to start again with our par value or our cost at maturity. So that's our future value. And starting with Rust Corporation, we have 10 years till maturity. And our initial purchase price is 8. Now, because we have the future value and the present value, we want to make sure we make that $800 a minus. And let's compute I over Y. We're going to look at interest rates. Let's find out what that is. So we're going to hit clear, second, clear time value of money, just to be extra cautious. We have $1,000 as our future value. We have 10 years to maturity, so 10N. We have no payment, and just to keep that habit, we're going to press 0 payment. Don't have to, but it's a good idea. And $800 plus or minus as our present value, and we're going to compute I over Y. 2.26. 2.26 is our yield to maturity. That's fairly low, which makes sense because we're going to have $800 tied up for a decade, and then we're only going to get $200 more. That's probably not the best deal, but let's see what our other option is. Let's look at Foot Corporation. Same maturity date, same time value, or same par value rather. So we're not going to clear everything out. Instead, we're just going to say, we're just going to change the things we have to. So $900 plus minus, and we're going to add that payment amount of $40. So let's see, this is our present value. This is our payment amount. And I don't believe I'm leaving anything out. We're going to again compute I over Y. So let's do that. We're not going to clear anything out. We're going to keep everything stuck in there. We're just going to change some numbers. So we have 900 plus or minus. That's my present value. $40 is my payment amount. And now I'm just going to hit compute I over Y. And yes, that gives me 5.31%. The second option is far better. Spending an extra $100 to get the Foot Corp bond, I think that's the name of it. Yeah, Foot Corporation bond. That $40 payment over time definitely makes it worthwhile. So I would buy Foot Corporation because the yield to maturity is more than double of what it is for Rust Corporation. All right, there you go. You have the calculator work portion of the homework, and I will see you in class on Thursday.